There was a cool Chargers fan fest at SoFi Stadium. It was great to see the people out there, Chargers fans. There was a rock concert of the Offspring. But we spent a lot of time together, Fernando. I think you got home like at midnight.
Yeah.
We got food together. Overall, good day. But I'm seeing a lot of you, man.
There was one special Charger fan in the crowd that has Gilbert's heart. He's won his heart over. I feel I can't even say that with a straight face. Oh my god! Yesterday was a day of mixed emotions. I think it was just nuts. Like seeing, I mean, Gilbert and I last year, like we've told you guys numerous times. I mean, we literally were at SoFi last year, and it was like a ghost town. We would walk in, go straight to the media room or to the press box, and it's like you'd say hi to maybe one or two workers, and that was basically SoFi employees, and that was basically it. Like we would like the only interaction we would have was with like with each other, because not even opposing beat writers were traveling to the stadium and everything. So it was really something unique. So yesterday was a lot of fun. There was a different atmosphere. There was a lot of people there. It's funny. Gilbert's like, "Hey, let's go check out the concert real quick." And we walk over. There's a lot of fans. It was like literally 1 o'clock, and there was two guys like falling over each other. Like it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, some drunk guy and like leather jacket from the 1970s with long hair who looked like he used to
Slipknot, yeah.
be a drummer or, for some band that nobody's heard of. Almost bumped me and hit me while I'm trying to check out the Offspring on stage. I was like, damn, like already. But it was cool to see so many fans are like, I kept telling you I wanted to go to the concert. Like I was trying to say, let's get us some tickets or whatever, VIP passes to get there. But we went to get food at Lazy Dog Cafe. Your brother was, I'm gonna blame it on him. Dan and Dago lollygagging, so we didn't really get to experience the concert. But I wanted a little view before we got to
Yeah.
the scrimmage, and it was wild to see a bunch of fans on the staircase trying to get the overhead view of the concert, and then how crowded it was in the plaza. And you saw nothing but powder blue jerseys. Sunshine gold to be exact for the Chargers colors. And I think it was a great, smart idea by the Chargers to have a concert, the Offspring, at the same time, well, not at the same time, but before the scrimmage to kind of welcome the fans back. Overall, it was a fun event. Just like you mentioned, it was cool to be out there with fans. And we got some shout outs. So all we hear is Compas, Compas, keep it coming. I love that. I'm waiting for the day somebody tells me Dan and Dago sucks. Team Gilberto all the way. That's coming one day, I feel like. But it just, I love the love and appreciation from Chargers fans that say, hey, we love the podcast. We love it. Keep doing more. And that's why, you kind of get on my nerves sometimes with the what's up, bro. But people like us talking together and interacting. So it was cool to kind of get that feedback once again from the stadium.
Yeah, I know, and it's funny, Gilbert. It's already been 10 practices, and I have not heard one Dan and Dago sucks. It is hilarious. Like, people love them, but going back to that, yeah, no, it's honestly funny because in one of those, when the scrim at the halftime of the scrimmage, that didn't need to be as long as it was long, but hey, that's Brandon Staley has a plan. He knows what he's doing. But in one of those, like a fan starts pointing and waving and stuff like that. So I'm like turning around. I'm like, who? Like, who is he trying to find? Like, is he trying to find somebody or like what's going on? And he's like pointing at me, and I'm like, me? He's like, yeah. He's like, what's up, bro? Compas. And he starts like waving and stuff. And I was like, oh wow. I was like, okay, hey, how are you doing? I was like, what's up, bro? From far away. And then he's like, where's Gilbert? And I like, that's when I walk over to Gilbert, his boots, man, it really, they really turned on him. He was wearing some boots. He thought we were going to be sitting down the whole time. We are actually standing down by the field, which was, by the way, it was pretty cool. If you could put Chargers PR, if you're listening, if y'all could put a desk down there somewhere where I can plug in my charger, I'd be down to sit down there and work from there. That was a pretty cool view. But obviously that's not going to happen. But I walk over to Gilbert, who was sitting on this like on the side on this like little side railing thing, and I turn to him, and then Gilbert turns and waves at the fan. That was a lot of fun. I think it's awesome when fans during training camp are saying hi to us. They're calling us the compas. Some guys really do go, "What's up, bro?" And I'm like, "What's up, bro?" If Gilbert's not there though, I won't say it just out of respect for Gilbert because I know Gilbert loves it. It's Gilbert's thing, so that's obviously why I don't do it. But like, I'll give you a what's up, bro. Like it's pretty cool and it's been a lot of fun to finally interact with fans again. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, obviously they're there to watch the Chargers, but the fact that they listen to Compas and people from there was a fan from North Carolina a couple of weeks ago, some other fans from like Oklahoma that were like, "Oh yeah, we check you guys out. We love the show." We're like, "Oh wow." Like you guys don't know how much that truly means to us cuz Gilbert and I started this as a pipe dream. Like we were like, "Oh, let's see how it goes." And it's literally snowball affected and really like when fans reach out to us and they tell us they love the show, that just means a lot to us and we literally are having so much fun doing this.
Yeah, no,
Honestly.
and overall, it was a very fun day yesterday. But as you mentioned, I wore the wrong, footwear. I wore some boots, some Doc Martens. I'm trying to try a new look this year, and I thought, okay, we won't be at training camp just standing the whole day in the heat. You know, like Dan and Dave likes to get on us. We're gonna be royalty yesterday on Sunday and be in the press box. And I thought I'm gonna chill out, sit down and be okay, but we got to be on the field the whole practice, which I shouldn't complain because I love that close view to be up there and be next to the Chargers players in their uniforms. Like it looked like it felt like a game day atmosphere. We walked in. We were doing a bunch of TikToks about it, but we walked in and we got to finally see the video board from the field. Like it was massive. Walking around was pretty cool. But overall, next time, I'll bring myself a water bottle, and bring some Nikes, and I'll be ready for on the field SoFi Stadium. But overall, it was a good time, and what was kind of the best part for me? It was a lot of energy and excitement. For me, it was to see Derwin James out there,
Yeah.
33, and his fresh white uniform crop top. Made me feel out of shape with the 8-pack, but to see him finally get the opportunity. I know it's not a real game just yet, but to be on the field after missing all of last year with a knee injury, not to be at SoFi. He finally did it. He said it was a special moment for him to kind of dig his cleats into the field. And you could tell he was having fun out there. And he had an interception, which I guess doesn't count. But overall, it was cool to kind of see 33 out there having fun because he didn't get to have that a year ago.
Yeah, no, and it's funny because I posted a video before practice started of Derwin warming up and everything, and fans are like, "Derwin, please just have some fun, try and be loose, try and." And I mean, that's the thing is that fans I know are very nervous about Derwin and his injuries because of his history. But Derwin said, "Man, I'm back to being Derwin James. I can't play slow. I can't do that." So Derwin it just plays high at a high level. So that's just what he's gonna do, and that's who he is. So definitely good to see Derwin back on the field, and he makes a difference. Justin Herbert, quarterback, he's never been out there with fans either. But real quick, Derwin said, or Justin said that Derwin makes them better. They didn't get to practice a whole lot last year, Gilbert. So really, it was the one. It's been the first time that Derwin and Justin have kind of gone at each other, and Derwin really helps Justin realize, hey, I'm going to face some tough safeties. I'm going to face some tough players, and going up against Derwin, Joey, and Kenneth Murray really helps somebody like Justin Herbert out. And it was funny because I told Gilbert before we went over to the press conference, I'm like, watch, people are going to be going crazy for Herbert while we're like talking to him and trying to interview him. And lo and behold, Justin walks over. He's getting ready to speak, and you just hear MVP, MVP. I'm like, there it is. I'm like, the fans want to see their quarterback, and they got to see their quarterback
But you know what? I'll give credit to the fans because we were kind of dreading the whole idea of having the fans hanging out.
in the
Like,
backdrop.
it'll be too loud. Our recorders won't be able to catch everything. People saying, "Hey, Justin Herbert, look this way." But as soon as Herbert went on the mic, people, had respect for their quarterback, and he
Yeah.
let them answer questions, let them talk to the media, and then after Herbert had a bunch of t-shirts for the crowd, launching them into the stands. So it's probably
Sidearm.
yeah, sidearms. So it's probably pretty cool to kind of catch a shirt pass from Justin Herbert. So I think overall it was a great atmosphere. Hopefully everybody behaved and no fights. Yeah, you always see that at events, but I think
Yeah.
overall it was a good atmosphere at concert. And yeah, Justin Herbert is the fan favorite. So that kind of hearing the MVP chance was pretty cool for him. And just to see Derwin and Justin Herbert going at it is pretty cool because yesterday I kind of tweeted, hey, here's some good because we'll get into right now the injuries, but
Yeah.
He's like, here's finally some good news because the kickers were missing field goals as well. So it was kind of like, okay, it's kind of becoming a downer on the field. But Derwin James made an amazing interception, and people were like, "Is it a good thing that that Herbert's throwing interceptions?" I'm like, let's relax. Like, Derwin James is gonna make interceptions on any quarterback in the NFL. The
Yeah.
biggest thing here is that Derwin James is healthy and he's back to his usual self from 2018 as a rookie when he was an All Pro, and we kind of all wondered, knee injury, foot injury, can this be the same Derwin James? Like, I'm kind of worried about that. This summer, he quickly silenced that doubt because he's making dynamic, explosive plays. And yeah, he's doing it on Justin Herbert, but you want the best of the best going at it. But overall, Justin Herbert is okay. He's making plays out there, connecting with his tight ends, wide receivers, the offensive line. So I think, Herbert and Derwin James, who are, I think, the leaders on both sides of the team on offense and on defense. I think those two guys will probably be a shoe-in for captains when that comes around in September. But to see those guys going at it has been pretty fun.
100%. And I saw a picture that they posted, the Chargers did, of Derwin and Justin together, and I'm like, wow, QB1 and literally QB2, QB1 of the defense. So literally, those are their two quarterbacks on the field and everything. But it's interesting because I have yet to see. I mean, maybe Gilbert, I'm wrong, but I have yet to see a reckless pass from Justin Herbert. Like, there hasn't been anything where I'm like, oh wow, like that was a reckless play. Usually he's been touched down, and that's when he makes those like throws where, I mean, it might get intercepted or whatever. But I haven't seen a throw yet where I'm like, oh wow, like that was a bad play. But that's not. I mean, that's just something that I had to get out there to Gilbert. But
Yeah, but if you think about it, this is a time of year where you should get a little wild. Like he
yeah,
knew he's already touched. If the play is over, it's a sack. You know how in football you get a free play, and like Aaron Rodgers does that all the time. Like, okay, that
yeah,
guy jumped, let me throw it up just in case and see what happens, and you could eat the interception because there's a flag. In practice, nothing's gonna happen. You got touched. Let me
yeah.
try that out. And yeah, he's throwing interceptions in that way. So you're right. Like, they haven't been like these like really bad plays. A couple of
Like
tip
last
balls.
year.
Yeah, like last year, like that first one on Melvin Ingram
Yeah.
when it came out. But hey, you want to make those mistakes, get them out the way. So there's been a few interceptions, but overall, he looks like the same old Justin Herbert to me.
100%. And you know what's funny? I mean, you guys who have been following us for a while, you guys know that Compas got your back. We try and give you guys the best info and everything. Man, yesterday, Gilbert, we were right there, right place, right time when I mean, and obviously it was bad, but Justin Herbert sends a pass or throws a pass to Jared Cook, and Kenneth Murray tackles him out of bounds. Kenneth starts crawling on the ground, and you're like, oh wow. And he starts like grabbing his leg, and I'm like, ooh, could it be like something that the late great Kobe Bryant had towards the end of his career? Could it be something like that? And you're like, ugh. And then he's like he grabs the turf, and he, like, I don't know, it just didn't look good. And he's able to Kenneth is able to get up. He starts walking around. They take off his cleat, and in one of those he starts trying to like get back into it to see if he feels good. And Ty Long asked him, and we're standing right there. Ty Long asked him, "You good, bro?" And then he just goes like that. He's like, "Yep," like basically telling him, "Yeah, I'm fine." So that was a little nerve wracking, I'm sure, for Charger fans and for the Charger staff. And then obviously, real quick, Corey Linsley walks right past us and heads to the tunnel, and he had his left shoe untied. So Brandon Staley said foot injury for Corey Linsley. He said ankle for Kenneth, and he said if this was a real live game, it would be a different story if those guys would have came back. But the Chargers decided not to bring them back in yesterday, and after that, really, the Chargers kind of went a little bit tighter on Joey. Didn't get that many reps after that. Brian Bulaga was taken out, so you could see the Chargers really wanted to limit those big time injuries for their big time players.
Yeah, seeing Kenneth Murray on the ground in pain and kind of hitting the field, and you could just see it on his face that at first it didn't look good. It kind of just sucked the air out of the whole environment at SoFi Stadium. And I'm looking at you like Fernando, this team can't catch a break. Here we go again, another big injury in the summer. What is going on with this team? Like, they always get you with this, hype and expectations, and people are excited, and then an injury kind of deflates everything. But it looks like we're not doctors here, but it looks like Murray is gonna be okay because he started I think he had his ankle taped, right ankle
Yeah.
taped. Tom Telesco went to go check in on him. He kept saying, I think I'm good.
I
He
thought Tom
put,
Telesco could have been in the Olympics competing
yeah,
in
yeah,
the in
coming
the
over.
yeah.
Yeah, and then but the kind of the good side was like he didn't really leave the field right away.
No.
He put on the cleat again, like he wanted to go again. He started walking around, and you know what? He's like, okay, time to take a seat. So I think he'll be okay. I doubt we'll see him in practice for some time, which is
Yeah.
okay because this is the time of year you want to kind of take it easy. And then yeah, you see Corey Lindsey walking right past us into the tunnel with his left cleat untied, and we're like, oh boy. But then we saw Corey after practice, hanging out with his family. So he looked like to be okay. So, it could have been a lot worse. It kind of took some of the air of the environment, but I think those two guys should be all right.
Yeah.
But you just really want this team to be healthy for week one because they go through it every single time.
Yeah, no, definitely. And the good thing about Kenneth, I looked into his eyes when he was walking past us, and you could see the ferocity, the him furious, like his eyes looked angry. So I'm like, okay, he's fine. He just looks like he got dinged up a little bit. But Kenneth is a young player. I'm sure he'll bounce back quick. He'll feel that today, though. He definitely
Mm.
will feel that today. But I'm sure he'll be fine, like you said, and we saw them after and everything. But Kenneth was listening to the defensive
Yeah, yeah.
signals. He was doing all that, so he definitely he should be fine. But it was just like you said, like you're like, oh no, not another one, not another. And I mean, it's funny because you've been there, Gilbert, and every you were there for Joey, right? When no, you weren't there for Joey. You got there for Derwin's
Yeah,
last two.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I've been, like I said, I've been around since 2013, and since 2013 it's been Danny Woodhead, offensive lineman, Jason Verrett, all those years, Keenan Allen, like, and it
Hunter
really, like,
Henry.
Hunter Henry. It really sucks the kind of the momentum off of the Charger. It really goes from being like a nice little like Pirates of the Caribbean boat ride to here come the winds and everything's blowing you through and the lightning starts striking
Yeah.
and everything. So it literally it just takes a turn for the worse, to be honest.
Do you want to know who's rocking the boat right now? It's the three kickers on the Chargers, man. I don't know what that was yesterday. Uh,
Dude.
but I'll say this, yeah,
Boo. That's
hearing the boo birds from Michael Badgley is not good for him, but it was kind of cool to get that environment of the
yeah.
fans being really into it. Like they're aware, like, okay, let's not do this again. Kickers, make your field goals and scrimmage when there's not, fast paced people coming at you. But yeah, the boos are really loud for Michael Badgley when he came out 4-7 to start off, being first. And then what was Vizcaino? I think he was 4-6, I think.
4-6.
So not too much better. And then the rookie Kessman 2-6. So for his series, but they kind of traded after that a little more. Badgley came back and made a 55-yarder, so kind of recovered. But it's an open competition, man. Like nobody's taking the lead. I try asking Brandon Staley, "Hey, Badgley went first on the field goals. Does that mean he has an early lead on the competition?" He said, "No, Gilberto, my full name, and I know what you're trying to do there, trying to get me to say something." I was like, "Hey, I'm just trying here." And but he said it didn't mean anything. The rotation is going to switch a lot. It could be Vizcaino first one day, Kessman first the other day. But it feels like we're nowhere near to settling that competition until preseason rolls around when it gets a little more intense. But
Yeah.
yesterday it wasn't that good, man.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you. You know what? I really want to applaud Charger fans yesterday because at one point when the kickers were kicking their field goals, they were making noise. The Chargers kickers need to be able to.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you need to realize that you're going to be in stadiums where it's Denver, where it's other places like that, Las Vegas, different places where they're going to be loud. You're going to need to kick. You're going to need to psych yourself into it and not think about the fans yelling and everything, and just make sure you make your kick. But that's the thing that's going to be very tough about who's going to win this, because the SoFi Stadium is beautiful, but you're at a disadvantage, in my opinion, when you're a kicker and you're inside of a dome stadium, because you're going to go to Kansas City, you're going to go to Denver, and you're going to go to some of these places where it's hard to kick. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. It could be rainy, whatever. And it's going to be tough to make
Mm.
some of these kicks. So whoever they decide to choose, and that's what I said yesterday. I joked, and I'm like, if they literally combined all three of these kickers into one person, they'd be the perfect kicker. And it really, that's how it is. Kessman can hit the 50-yarder. Tristan has a strong leg, and then Badgie can hit from within 45. So definitely, I mean, these guys just, I don't know what's going to end up happening with this kicking situation, but it just, it's gotten off to, like you said, a very shaky start when it comes to all three of them.
Yeah, it's been rocky, but we'll let the preseason decide for
Yep.
for the kickers.